Hi, welcome. My name is Yann. I will be walking you through a demo on how to use the new user control host page in Business Central. This is a new page type that allows you to embed a user control inside Business Central and basically display any sort of content that's created through JavaScript and CSS inside Business Central. The page type is new, but it's not like you couldn't do this with a cart page in the past. Let me start here in my development environment. We're in Visual Studio Code. I have a brand new AL project. As you can see, I have the Hello World page extension on the customer list. I'm going to start by deleting this and delete. And then we're going to create a new page. It's a new file. We're going to call it the user control host page. And this is just a page in Business Central. We'll get a new page number. Give me a page number. Well, it doesn't want to give me one, so I'll just create my own. This is our user control host. And I'll just refer to my note here so that I can make this happen a little bit quicker. And here, so boilerplate stuff, basically the page type is a user control host and application area all and user usage category document. And then I've added a caption so we can find our page easily. And then if we go to layout, here, why don't we just do this? It'll make your life a little bit easier. And we don't need this. We can add a tooltip. I don't think it's necessary here. Okay. So group, we don't need a group. See, that's the problem with using Copilot to help us out. Sometimes it adds things that you really don't need. So right now, our YouTube viewer is basically not created, so that's why it's underlined. And this one here, it says the user control host must specify exactly one control of type user control in the content area. Well, we're in the content area. It's not a field. That's the problem. This is a user control. And I think now everything up here is going to be happy. That's right. Okay. So I guess the next thing we need to do is create our user control, new file, user control. Or should we do, here, let's do this. Let's do new folder. This is where we're going to store our control add-in. And inside this one, we'll just add our file called the YouTube viewer. And this is AL. And this one is going to be the control add-in that we're going to add to the other page. So this is the YouTube viewer. And here, the only thing we really need to add here is a few tags for our scripts. And the only script we're going to use is a main.js script. And then we're going to add style sheets, styles.css, and then we're going to do a startup script, and it's going to be startup.js. Okay, this should do it. We just need to create these three files now. Because I didn't put any folder next to them, we could go here and say scripts, and now I need to go inside my control add-in, add a new folder for my scripts, and then I'll add another folder for my styles. Okay, and if I'm adding a folder for my styles, then I need to go here, styles, and you can see I got some capitalization. AL is not case sensitive, but let's be consistent here. And this one's going to be also in my scripts folder. Okay, and then inside my scripts, I need two files. I need my main.js, and I'm going to add another file. This is going to be my startup.js. And then the last one we need is inside the style folder. We said we need the style.css. Okay, so if we go back here, they're still underlined, but it's just a compiler that's not very quick at catching this, that we've created these files. I just put a space, go back, and then it fixed. And save. So now we're up to the races. And as you can see, this one is now green, so there's no more error. Maybe we'll just add a little bit of CSS so that we can see the effect on the page. So I've picked this nice little color. It's a little Business Central style, one of their color that they use. So right now I'm pretty much ready to view my new control add-in inside my user control host page. Let's see what that looks like. Wait for it. And here it is. Let's log in. I don't think I set my startup page, so maybe I should have done that, but I think I can just look for it here. YouTube viewer, user control host page, and there it is. Okay, so this is my viewer here. It's pretty small. We're going to adjust that really quickly. Here, let's move on to that next step. So when I was building my user control, not this one, that's the host. So when I was building my user control, I only added script styles. If we want it to go full page, we can say vertical stretch, or not shrink, I said stretch. Stretch is true, and horizontal stretch is true. Save, Shift F5 to stop debugging, and F5 to start debugging again. And let's look at the result now. Here, before I forget to do it again, I'm just going to go to my my launch.json. And in my launch.json, I'm going to update my page to my user control host page, which is 50,100. So if we update this here, save, I'm going to relaunch it just so we can see the effect right away. And F5, let's go back to our website. We can close this one, we can close that one, and there it is. There you go. So it is full screen with title of the page here, and not sure where this little add-in comes from, but now we're full screen. So what I'd like to add to this page, obviously, is it's a YouTube viewer. So I would like to see a YouTube video embedded full screen. So why don't we go and do that? So the next step would be in our startup. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so I need to follow my own notes. Inside our user control add-in, we're just going to add a trigger. And basically, when the page loads, it's going to send a message to this trigger. And what I would do is inside the startup.js, which is our startup script, we add this Microsoft.dynamics.nav.invoke extensibility method, control ready. And so basically when this control add-in starts, it's going to call this. This needs to exist in our YouTube viewer, and this is called an event. So if I go back to my control, I need to add my event right here. Whoops. event. I just need to go back and grab it. Where'd it go? Startup. I said control ready. So this needs to be exactly the same. And then you add control ready. And then this, when this gets called, it calls in here. And then now inside our user control, we have a trigger. And the trigger is control ready. And inside of our trigger, we're just going to add a current page dot YouTube viewer dot, let's call it load embedded content. And then here we want to load our content. I'm going to use a new feature in BC26 that allows us to do multi-line, and we're going to add our iframe right here. And I'm not sure where this is, but I'm not going to put it in because I'm sure that's going to be a Rickroll or something like that. So let's go back to here. Oh, I don't have my YouTube page. Let me see. I had it in my history here. This one there. So this is the one I'd like to embed right now. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go to my. Oh, nice ad. Share. And here's the link to embed. So I'm going to copy this. Copy. And then we can minimize, and then we can place this in here. So the beauty with this multi-line is you can go like this, and then it just makes things a little bit more legible. And we can go like this. I mean, we don't need to do all this. We can leave it like that. That's fine. So right now, when the control ready is called, we're going to add this load embedded content to our control add-in. So now this one is a procedure. Load. It was helping me for a second. Embedded content. And then this is the HTML. And that should do it. So now all we need to do, this guy, load, embed, oh, embed, embedded. Okay, that's why it's, there you go, that's better. Okay, so inside my main.js, now I need to create this function. So the function here is called load embedded content. In main.js, we're going to go function, load embedded content. It's got the HTML that I want to load. And what we need to add to this page is var div document get element by ID control add-in. And how you know this is if you right click here and you go inspect, I can see right here that this is called control add-in. That's the ID of this div. And in my code, I'm saying, hey, I want to get that div that's called control add-in. And then if I go div dot inner HTML is equal to the HTML that I passed in, we should get our control add-in populated. Not our control add-in. We should get our YouTube video populated in here. There's one thing I'd like to change is on the control host here, there is a width and a height that YouTube puts by default. Instead of making a small one, or actually, let's leave it. Let's leave it. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll tweak it after. So right now I can just stop debugging, start debugging, and then I'll show the results of what's going on here. Close this one. We don't need our YouTube anymore. And here's the new page. And here's our page, and here's our video. Whoa, that's cool. Okay, so what I was talking about is I'd like this video to go full screen. So the only thing we need to do is if I change the width and the height to 100% and 100%, save, and we're going to relaunch. Let's go back here. And that's it. We have a user control embedded inside of a user controlled host page, and going full screen, take advantage of the real estate. And if you minimize this, obviously it's going to try to take full width again. And I think when you play the video, it'll just change the ratio so it fits, and then just YouTube just works with it. But if we go like this, it'll play full screen, and YouTube control still works. I mean, you can put anything in here. Like I said earlier, Microsoft advertised on their page here that it's for Power BI, but possibly in a future video, we can show you other things that we can embed inside the user control. I hope that was useful, and please come back soon for the next video. Thank you.